Today I'm going to do Amish apple fry pies. Since Lyle at No Hippie Barbecue and Cooking hasn't posted any Amish videos in a while, I figured I'd do one today. Of course, this is not going to be traditional because I will be using gadgets. As usual, I'll bring you in closer so you can see how I make them. I'm going to use my KitchenAid attachment to peel, core, and slice the apples. My mother-in-law went to Ella J at Panora Farm Market and she picked up some apples and some fried pies. And that's what gave me the idea to make these. It's just a variety of apples. I'm not even sure what type they are. So I'm just going to pick a couple of them and use, and we'll see how it turns out. In the pot here I have brown sugar, cinnamon, and vanilla. I'll put the recipe in the description box. I'm just going to go ahead and just chop these into smaller pieces. It was 6 minutes total cook time, 3 minutes on medium, and then I added the cornstarch slurry for 3 minutes on high to thicken it up. And I actually chopped up the apple pieces also while it was cooking. For the dough, I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour that I sifted, and I have 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter that I cubed, and I went ahead and put it back in the refrigerator so it'll be good and cold. You can also put it in the freezer if you like. I'm just using a pastry cutter just to work the butter into the flour. This recipe calls for 2 egg yolks, and since my chickens are laying small eggs right now, I'm going to use 1 duck egg and then 1 chicken egg. I don't know if you can tell, but our little Easter egger chickens are laying eggs now, so they're laying little green eggs. Okay, there's my 2 yolks. As you can tell, there's an obvious difference. That's why I went with 1 big one and 1 small one. I have 1/3 cup of hot milk here, and I'm going to take the 2 yolks and go ahead and mix them up. And then it says to add in the hot milk, and I have a 1/4 teaspoon of salt in the milk. I'm going to pour the milk mixture into the flour. You just want to mix the dough up until it starts trying to form into a ball, which it was already doing. Just want to knead the dough. I'm just going to roll these into 6 little balls just so I can roll them out with my rolling pin. Never made fried pies before, so this should be interesting. I actually never made any kind of pie crust that had to be round, so I don't know how good this is going to turn out, but I'm going to try it and see. As most things I make, it will not look perfect. Alright, I'm going to take about 2 tablespoons of the apple filling. Don't have to be exactly 2. These are going to be a little bit smaller since I'm using the little bowl to cut it. So this is just a test. I'm going to show you how I do one on camera and then I'll do the rest. Oops, probably overfilled it a little bit. It's alright, I'll pack it in there. I'll have to make sure I don't fill the others as much. As always, I overfill everything. That's alright. It's still sealing well, so that's the main thing. For the icing, I have 1 cup of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of whole milk. May need to add a little more. I'll add just a little bit more. I'll set it for 350 degrees. I'm going to use vegetable oil. Just want to have enough oil to where you can fry. Now I went ahead and put 3 in the freezer because I just wanted to see how well they freeze, because it'd be great to be able to make up batches of them and just pull a few out when you need to, especially since I have an air fryer. I don't do much deep frying, and you probably could tell I'm not that good at it, but they do look good and they smell good, so I'm just going to let them cool for just a second. I just want to brush each side with some of the icing here. Just I'm going to let it dry on the top, and then I'll flip it over and make sure the bottom gets iced also. Instead of letting it completely dry, I'm going to just go ahead and put a little icing on the bottom here, because I'm impatient like that. After trying to roll that dough out, I realized I really don't know how to make a good circle, so I definitely need some of those little pie makers. You just roll the dough out and kind of press it in there. Melissa over at Cooking with a Little Spice, she has some, and they make the perfect size little mini pies. Okay, let me give it a try. That's delicious. So good. I'm really loving that dough recipe. It is so flaky and delicious, and of course buttery, so you can't go wrong with that combination. Kind of wishing I would have went ahead and fried those other 3 up. I think we're all going to be fighting over these a little later. And there you have it. Thanks a lot.